This is Tim Rogers with Dodgers 2080. I have brought along Steve Douglas from Dodgers 2080, but also from Hot Stove Baseball Talk. Please look him up on YouTube. He's on there all over the place. Got a ton of interviews. Let's see. I've known Steve. We met in 2018 when the Quakes won their championship then in 2018, and we've been going at it ever since. Steve contributes to our site and his own site. Welcome aboard, Steve.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tim. I appreciate it. And thanks for the rousing intro there. Looking forward to having this conversation with you. I love a lot of these guys we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and we're gonna. I know it's kind of that same thing, where we separate the business from the person. Really enjoy the guys that are out there. I mean, I think both Steve and I have enjoyed getting to know so many of these players that we're going to talk about, and some of them we know Paquito, and some we've spent quite a bit of time with. So we're covering the Rule 5 draft. That's coming up. That draft is actually in December during the winter meetings. But what has to happen is for players to not be taken away from the Dodgers, they have to be put on the 40-man roster by November 14th. And there's some weird rules. I'm going to read a paragraph that I found on the internet machine. And it says, teams must add eligible minor leaguers to their 40-man rosters or risk losing them in the Rule 5 draft by 5 p.m. Central Time, and that's on November 14th. College players drafted no later than 2020, and high school players drafted no later than 2019 are Rule 5 draft eligible this year, as well as players signed internationally no later than 2019. So basically, Yeah, go ahead.
No, what?
I know, exactly. It's all complicated. The bottom line is each team out there is going to have, when the December 6th rolls around, about 37 to 40 players on their roster. So there's not even a lot of room to go take guys. Now, last year, the Dodgers lost 3 gentlemen. I think for both Steve and I, we had watched Jose Hernandez quite a bit in 2021. Yep. I liked what I saw. I'm sure Steve did too. Yes. And we lost him to the Pirates. And then Ryan Noda went to the A's. And we never saw him at Rancho. He was acquired, if you recall, in the Ross Stripling trade, in which the Dodgers also got Kendall Williams, guess who we're going to talk about a little bit today. And then the last one, Gus Varland.
Milwaukee, yeah.
Right. And they got him from the A's in the Cody Thomas trade, and they got Sheldon Noisy also. So Cody Thomas went to the A's. I don't remember who else went to the A's, but that was 2021 or after 2020. I can't remember now. My goodness, time flies. Cody was actually the first guy that I ever interviewed.
Cody Thomas, I love him.
Yes, he was great. He was a star on that 2018 team. He had a bunch of hits and made, I guess, some fantastic play that no one saw that was in Lancaster because they didn't have any TV and it was kind of off in the corner, but it was like a game-saving catch.
I think I saw it.
Did you? Oh, you were probably there. Yeah.
I think I was there.
Yeah,
and I had no life, and I was going to every game. So
yeah, back in the day, I never made it out to Lancaster. Before they rest in peace to the Lancaster Jets, right? Was it the Jets?
Jethawks? The Jethawks. It was the Colorado Rockies affiliate, and I had gone out there quite a bit actually. So yeah, I miss going out to Lancaster.
Yeah. So the Rule 5 draft. So the Dodgers, I'm pretty sure, are going to lose some guys because as we go through the list, y'all are going to see a lot of, I think, some really good players. Now, some of them we'll look at and go, well, some of these guys are too young, and if someone drafts them, it's almost criminal to try to put them on a major league roster. But then you'll also see guys that are like 25, 26, 27, and as Steve said in our pre-show chat, it's go time for them. So we'll get started. It is an extensive list. Yeah. So Carlos, we first saw him, I don't remember if, because it was 2021, in which it was awful covering the Quakes in 2021. We were not allowed to do this, that, and the other.
The whole world was awful then. Yes.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was still, everyone was freaking out over something that, I guess it impacted a lot of people, but at the same time, things got really silly. But yeah, so Steve and I had to cover these guys from the stands, and never really got to know them very well. But Carlos did pitch at Rancho in 2021, and eventually, and I'm going to pull him here. And then he, in 2021, he then made it to Great Lakes. He's a guy that really good slider, strikeout stuff, comes 3/4. And then 2022 started the season at Great Lakes also, but then had the dreaded Tommy John. And that we're going to see a few guys like that in this list. Do you remember Carlos at all?
Yeah, big dude.
Yes.
But yeah, I think he's like a giant. I think he's like 6'7" or something.
He
But
is,
yeah,
yeah.
he's full of potential, and obviously he didn't pitch in the last season, so I mean, I don't think he's a guy that anybody's really going to be pining over here. But Carlos Duran gonna have a
Yeah.
chance to get himself right, hopefully in 2024, and be able to develop more in the Dodgers organization.
Yeah, and he was a guy in 2021 was starting to make some strides, like in those little prospect lists that everyone likes and everything like that. So yeah, he is Rule 5 eligible. He was Rule 5 eligible last year and was not taken. So I think I guess the only way that someone could really go, hey, let's take this guy, is if they go, well, we know he can't pitch next year, which actually he can. We're going to stash him on the DL for the year, which I can see someone like Farhan doing that, but that Farhan's always has his ways of finding, getting good players somehow, especially from the Dodgers. He did that with it wasn't Rule 5, but the big Cuban kid, Darian Nunez. He
Oh
went
yeah,
Tommy John, and the Giants found a way to snap him up. So, and good for Darian. I don't know if I remember, I got to meet Darian in 2019.
Oh,
That
I
was some,
love Darian.
yeah,
He's a real good dude. Yeah.
yes, very much so. And he has he's the guy that looks. Remember, he looked like Chapman on the mound, or
Yeah. Oh
Aroldis
yeah.
Chapman.
His mechanics, and he told me Chapman was his idol. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell in his mechanics, his delivery, a lot of his mannerisms that that looks
Yep.
like your idol.
And he also drives one of the coolest Dodge Challengers out there.
Oh, okay, nice, nice.
He advanced on the Dodger minor league thing and actually has an 8-cylinder instead of the 6-cylinder.
Good for him.
I know.
Heck yeah.
Next guy is Jerming Rosario. Jerming throws really hard, and in 2022, to be honest, couldn't get the ball over the plate. And he was eligible last year. But 2023, he made some huge strides. I don't know if you could see this, but his walks in 2022, all with Rancho, was in 85 innings. He walked 60 guys. And I saw some of that stuff live. Yeah. But last year in 92 innings, he only walked 40. So huge improvement. And then he did get promoted to Great Lakes. And I think, he also did some work in the bullpen, which I think is really interesting with his stuff. But like some of these, he's still only 21. And I don't know, man. If I'm a team, I'm going, can I go and try and take this guy? But I don't know if it's going to serve him well. But one of the things to always remember, even if these guys are taken and they're not ready, they get paid the major league minimum, at least for that time they're on their roster. So I'm kind of rooting for the guys' finances. You know what I mean?
Right. Heck yeah. No, I think as far as Rosario goes, yeah, he needs more seasoning, honestly. He's made great strides. as far as turning around, as far as the control in the strike zone and pitching sequence. And yeah, I mean, I saw him in Rancho, saw him get to pitch a little bit in the playoffs for Great Lakes. It was great to see him perform there and do well and see some success. But yeah, I don't think he's, even if you're I just don't think he's ready to get into a Major League Baseball game right now.
Right. Yeah, I think it would really hurt him. It would help his pocketbook, but it would really hurt him.
Yeah, developmentally, yeah, he needs a little bit more seasoning, probably another 150 innings in the minors before you want to throw him into a big league situation, I believe.
Yeah, and he might even start again at Great Lakes next year, but he should hit Double-A at some point next year.
Yeah, and I think for these guys, especially in the Dodgers organization, I mean, once they've been in Double-A, I think they're fair game for any other team around the big leagues, because I think once you're into Double-A, I think you're there. I mean, AAA, obviously there's another level there in between the big leagues and Double-A, but if you can perform in Double-A, I think you can. If you've got the stuff, obviously, and the makeup, I think you can make the jump.
Yeah. Okay, the next guy. Next guy's a good one.
Oh yeah,
Hunter Feduccia.
Yes.
I remember him at Rancho back in 2019. And he looked a lot different. Remember, he was all clean cut. I thought he looked like Will Smith. It was when Smith was coming up, but now he's got longer hair, and he had a really nice year last year.
Yes, he did.
Look at that. The OPS is 838, left-handed hitter, but look, the age right there, 26.
Yeah, it's go time for Hunter, and I mean, he's a big league catcher in my mind. He's a clutch hitter. He's a guy who can handle a staff. I mean, he's a fantastic defensive catcher. I mean, if I'm another team, I have the opportunity and I've got the spot, I would take Hunter Feduccia. Yeah.
I'm totally with you. I wonder if the Dodgers would decide to protect him and trade him. He's just one of those guys that, with Will Smith, obviously Will Smith is sticking there. And I get Austin Barnes still has another year. And Austin was dreadful like the first 3 to 4 months, but he did get better. But a lot of the people on our chat really wanted to see Feduccia get a chance, and I did too, be honest with you. I mean, we're prospect huggers. We want to see him get a chance, but
sure,
I think he plays in the major leagues in 2024. It's just a matter of what team.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it'll be time. I think it's his time, and it'll be good for him. And whether it's in Dodger blue or somewhere else, he's a man, and it's time to put him in the spot that we have seen him develop into, and I think he's ready.
I do too. Yeah, time. It like you said, it is truly go time for Hunter Feduccia. I don't know. I just wonder if they're going to protect him or just trade him. I don't know. They got to do one of the two. You can't sit there and have the guy in the minors again. Okay, next guy. I think we all have a soft spot in our heart for Braden Fisher.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like Braden Fisher a lot. I've been interviewing him. Sorry to jump in, but I've been interviewing him since he was drafted in 2018, and just a real skinny 18-year-old kid right out of high school, real respectful. He's got really good stuff. He was a top prospect for a time within the Dodgers organization, in the top 30 or whatever. Had some injuries. He's dealt with them. He's got quite the repertoire of pitches, especially coming out of the bullpen. I know his age is a little bit on the younger side, and he's just into Double-A last year, but yeah, I would take Braden Fisher away from the Dodgers if I could. I'd put him in the big leagues right now.
Yeah, he really did step it up last year. Oh man, look at that. I mean, 61 innings, only 41 hits. Are you kidding me?
82 strikeouts.
Jeez.
Yeah. And opposing batting average 188.
Jeez, that's just
the dude is legit. He's got the fire inside too. Yeah. And I mean, when it comes to playoff time, and you've heard all the things and read all the things said, and you need guys who've got that fight in them.
Mm-hmm.
And Braden Fisher is definitely one of those dudes.
Yeah, to overcome, really, he seemed to just vanish for 2 years with injuries. And for him to come back from that is remarkable. Or you could see it. 2018, he pitched a little bit. And that was when he was drafted right out of high school. 2019, he was gone. 2020, I didn't remember seeing him at spring training. I finally met him at Rancho in 2021. It was an auspicious introduction because I said, are you Jimmy Lewis?
Uh-oh.
They look a lot alike, man.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Maybe because I'm on it. I was on one, man.
Hey, it's tough sometimes. Yeah. No, I've
Yeah.
definitely misidentified players when I'm trying to find an interview there at spring training, and they,
Well, because then, they go. I got to be honest, guys. Wear your number all the time. Wear your name all the time. There's scouts out there. You're auditioning for 30 teams, not one.
No. They don't care.
They got to be cool.
Incognito. Okay.
Yeah, they got to be cool. I think one of the things my guess is the Dodgers don't protect Braden or any relievers. They never do. They don't seem to respect the reliever that much. They kind of grow them as it happens, or trade for them or whatever. It just seems kind of weird, but these are some eye-popping numbers. I hadn't really looked at that.
Oh, dude is legit.
Great.
No, Braden Fisher. And he
far.
was a starter when he first was in the Dodgers organization, and he has a starter's mentality. He's coming out of the bullpen with all those different pitches. No, his stuff plays. And I think you could develop him back into a starter too, if you're another team, so I think the sky's the limit with Braden Fisher. I hope he stays in the Dodgers organization. But again, I love the dude, and I'd like to see him in the big leagues next year succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd just be skipping AAA, but I mean, he had such a good year. My goodness. Good for him. I mean, it's just, yeah, super, like you said, super polite. He's almost, I think he called me sir.
Shout out to his parents, Norman and Lori. They're good people. They're really good people. So they've done well with Braden.
Yeah, very good dude. Okay, a guy that when I started this site, I actually email interviewed him, Alec Gamboa. 26-year-old left-hander reliever. He was touching 98, 99 this year. He really got some extra going on. He's a great athlete.
Yes.
He's
another dude. I'd take him. Yeah, you know what I mean? He's ready. It's his time. I mean, he had a fantastic year last year. You see what he did in Tulsa in AA, and then continued that going up into AAA. So
140 batting average against.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think left-handed reliever. Heck yeah. I think it would be. He's worth a flyer. It's like $100,000. You pay $100,000 when you draft him. If it doesn't work out, you can give him back and get 50,000 back.
Oh yeah, for those owners, that's like me and you giving $1.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. They got
play for $1. Okay.
Yeah, he's a guy that man. It's just going through this list just makes me cringe. Going, I don't want to lose these guys, but at the same time, I want these guys to get a chance.
Right. Yeah, that's a fine line there. And Alec Gamboa, a guy I've interviewed a couple times, really great guy. I mean, there's a lot of high character dudes in the Dodgers organization and in baseball in general. And Alec is right up there. And I just wish nothing but the best for him. I want the success again in the Dodger blue, but it's time for him. And if there's an opportunity, there's a spot for him out there. He could be a guy that, we see go.
Yeah. And like he's 26. It's time, folks. Get him up there and get him going. Okay. The next, I think we talked about this. You weren't familiar much with Edgardo, right? Enriquez.
No, I hadn't
Um,
seen him much. Yeah,
well, the
I've
thing
seen him around the
is,
facilities, but
yeah,
yeah, I haven't seen him throw much.
he got hurt. He had Tommy John
Okay.
after during the 2022 season. It was kind of interesting. I have a little story about him. I was at spring training in 2022, and I took a ton of pictures. I'd never heard of this guy. I got to be honest with you. I get a text, a DM from him on Instagram, says, "Hey, did you take any pictures of me?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man." And I go look. The last pictures I took of players was Edgardo on the
Nice.
mound. I got lucky, man.
Nice.
Yeah. So we can't, I actually have a little post game interview with him. Oh my goodness. De Jesus, was it Alex? Was the translator for me. But yeah, Edgardo doesn't know English very well. He's learning it. Really young guy, but he's huge.
Yeah,
And he was,
linebacker.
yeah, yes, I mean, when I met him, he was 19, and just this big, and to be honest, even looks wise, it kind of remind me of a young Alex Rodriguez in terms of looks and build and everything. And he was throwing really well. He was making his way up the charts like like plenty of these guys do. And it's easy to say because this is just a common thread amongst almost every freaking minor leaguer in the Dodgers organization. They have issues with getting the ball over the plate. They're just it seems like, I don't know, maybe this is an observation that and I've talked to Casey Porter about this. It seems like they're working more on the velocity and working on pitches than the command until maybe after a year of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I were you at that game where the Quake, it was in 2022 and the Quakes hit 8 guys?
I don't know if I was at
I
that game,
can't
although
remember.
it feels familiar.
Yeah, Bruns got
Like
4 of them.
minor league game that I had been at, because you see so much at a minor league baseball game, but
And no
I'm not
fights.
sure I
Couldn't
was
believe
there.
it. But yeah,
Oh, I
Edgardo.
mean, everyone
Yeah,
knows. Okay, yeah, we're wild. I mean,
yeah,
you're trying to throw 100 miles an hour.
and they
You're
are.
gonna miss. You're gonna
Yeah.
miss.
Yep.
And that's not just the Dodgers organization.
Yeah.
Obviously, the 2 teams combined for the 8 hit batters. But yeah, no, it's I think a common theme. I mean, you're
Yeah.
trying to make the big leagues. You're trying to impress. Every single pitch is an audition if you're a minor league pitcher, and not only for the team you're with or the organization you're with, it's for all the others too. So yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot riding on everything for these guys.
Yeah. So Edgardo, I think he'll be back sometime in 2024. I doubt he gets picked, but from a upside, if I can pick him and hide him on the injured list, I'm doing it.
Now, let me ask you this. I don't know this about the Rule 5. I'm just going to sound like an
Yeah.
idiot here because I don't know. I thought you had to put them in the big leagues and they had to be there. And if it didn't work out, then you had to bring them back. So I don't know how it works when they're injured. You can just stash them, or
Yeah, as long as you put them, they're on, as long as they're still on the major league roster, you can put them on the IL for the rest of the year or whatever, as long as they're really hurt.
Yeah.
As what's the guy, Billy Epler from the Mets, is finding out as he's getting investigated for phantom IL, which I think the Dodgers are pretty good at that. Just saying.
I think it happens everywhere, but
Yeah.
I've certainly. Well, I'm not going to say anything else. So
Yeah, I know. It's like, it seems, oh boy, magical injuries happen. Let's see.
hey, sometimes guys
might
need
edit that. I might edit myself out there.
a week off.
Yeah, I know. You know what though? If you think about it, the idea of going, I want pitchers to stay healthy.
Sure.
And if you could put them on a list just let them rest. They don't have to be hurt. Let them do that. I mean, I know it could be abused, but the grind of every 5th day, especially, they need a break, get someone else in there for a bit. Let a guy make his debut. Like Dodgers had, I think, 9 guys make their major league debut last year. What a great season in that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun for guys like us who love prospects, but
yeah.
I'm sure there was some fans who were not happy about all that.
Who is this guy? Who is this? Yeah, who is this?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. It was great.
They want the best players at every position.
I know. Yeah, not
Damn
my
it.
money. Okay, Jose Ramos.
He's young, but he's a stud.
He is. Yeah. I think let's see the strikeouts. Yeah, 140 strikeouts. But he actually went down a little bit from last year. Yeah, not much. But he's got a gun out in the outfield. He's got really good power. I think he is fast, even though the stolen bases aren't there. But I think he's
quick.
Field, you know, he can play any of the outfield positions, and he was eligible last year, and he wasn't taken. Still think he needs another year.
Yeah, he needs that seasoning.
Yeah, but I mean, I still like the talent a lot here on this guy, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was so he spent the whole year at Double A. Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting remembering when he was with us at Rancho and everything. He was fun. I really liked having him there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good dude, another high character guy. So but yeah, I think on the young side, so I think we as Dodger fans would get lucky and he'll still be in the organization in 2024.
Yeah. He's also one of those guys that always flashes me the good peace signs for pictures, which, you know, Instagram loves it.
It's very important.
Yeah. They love it too. Those guys love seeing themselves sometimes. All right, here we go. This is a guy.
I love seeing myself. What are you talking about?
Oh, I hate looking at myself. Mark Washington. Oh, come on. Get that ad out of there.
What?
Mark is
They need to pay us for that.
You know what? I swear, man, the MILB site is terrible. I
love Mark Washington.
I do too. Man, I met him in 2020. And gosh, it's almost like 27 years old. Someone please take him.
I really, really, really thought that he would be a Dodger last season.
I did too.
But, you know, things didn't work out. Other guys got called up. I think there was a time that Mark was a little dinged up when it was a possibility that he could have got called up. But so I think it just, you know, the stars didn't align right. But it's time for Mark Washington. The stars need to align right somewhere, whether it be with Los Angeles or somebody taking a chance here. And I don't think it's a big chance. He's a good reliever.
Yeah.
He would help out any major league team.
Yeah, he gets that because he keeps the ball low, so he's coming at 6'7", getting that big Dan angle and things like that. He provides a different look.
Sure.
Yeah, just really good guy, man. It's just I know we keep saying that, but it's
hard. It's hard when you get to know these guys. Oh, look at this ad. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you get to know these guys, this time of year, and then when you see, you know, releases or cuts happen too, that's always tough to read and tough to see because, you know, I mean, you know, you kind of feel like you know these guys, you root for them. You and I have spent a lot of time, at least at Rancho, sitting there in the dugout, watching the games, watching them play, see them interact with their teammates, and you feel like kind of an outsider, but a part of the team in a way. And you really connect and feel like, man, I'm rooting for this guy a little bit more. So it's tough.
Yeah, it's kind of it's you know I'm sure you had this happen where, you know, you're in the dugout and walking, you know, and you know, one of the guys comes up and high fives you or something like that. You know? It's like you're part of the team.
Like you're part of the team or something. If somebody hits a home run and everyone's high fiving and they come over and they give you a high five, you're like,
cool.
Oh yeah, cool, thanks, man.
All right, speaking of really good dudes, John Rooney.
Oh yeah, I love John Rooney.
Plus, he's a really good guitar player.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Oh yeah,
he's a multi-talented guy. He, you know, I almost think he lets guys on base so he can pick them off sometimes. He's got a fantastic move. I know you know that. The reliever this last year, but a starter for most of his Dodger minor league career. And I mean, he's the funniest guy. Like, you know how like most starting pitchers, they really don't like want to be talked to. Some of them, like Kershaw, you can't even look at him the day he starts. John Rooney, he came up to me and I was like, "Oh no, you're the starting pitcher today. I shouldn't even look at you." And he's like, "I don't care." And he just wanted to talk and hang out and chill a little bit before he was going to go throw his bullpen. And I was just like, I love this dude. John
Yeah,
Rooney is just so down to earth. Been rooting for him. It's one of those situations where the Dodgers have so much talent, and a guy like John Rooney now has spent years in the organization,
I
where
know.
somewhere else he might already be a big leaguer.
That was his third season starting at AA. Now, fortunately, he finally got to AAA and did well.
Yeah,
I look at the hits, innings pitched to hits. Strikeouts were close to one an inning. And he's 6'5". But he's not a guy that throws him 100 miles an hour, but he's effective. And lefties they get people out.
sure.
Um,
Yeah.
but this is a guy that really, gosh, he's so close now. And
Well, I like the move to the bullpen for him, so
I
I
do
think that
too.
offers him a lot more opportunity in the big leagues. And and obviously he's been a starter. He could go back to that if need be for whatever team or whatever situation happens, or in Los Angeles. I don't know, but I don't know. It seems like the Dodgers like him, but I mean,
Yeah, it's
starting
weird.
3 years in AA, it's kind of got to be uh, that's tough. So I hope the best for John Rooney. I want him in the big leagues. I love the dude, so I want to
Yeah.
see him successful.
Yeah, he's one of the best, that's for sure.
I sound like a broker. I sound like I
I know.
love everybody.
But
I'm a jerk. I actually don't like people that much, but really, really high character people in the Dodgers organization. So I know I sound like a broken record. Sorry to
Yeah.
everybody out there.
Well, so the next one's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Oh,
So I didn't know what was going on with him. We were there together.
yeah.
We were at Lake Elsinore,
Oh yeah.
and he comes up. And so the last time I talked to him was like in 2020, and he knew like 2 words of English.
Yes.
And he's
Yeah.
coming all friendly, like the front, like I'm his buddy. And like, and we're together, and it's like, oh yeah, it's been so long since we've seen you. And he's like, and then I find out he's become a pitcher.
Yes. Yeah.
And a good one.
Really good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy
Outstanding.
smokes.
Yeah, he played third base, first base for the first few years that we knew Seren, but now he's throwing, and he's throwing good, and he had a fantastic year off the mound. And I mean,
Crazy.
he's an athlete, so you can make the change. And obviously he's pitched before in his life, but yeah, he did well.
He did, yeah. Rancho, he was really good. Then he got, sent to Great Lakes, and then he finished the season at AA. So what a meteoric rise. I mean, he struggled a little bit, but that's just, getting through, learning how to pitch, truly, because with the Dodgers, you're not just going out and throwing. It's all the analytics and all these little things and all that stuff. But what a cool thing that was to watch this year, just to see that. And it was just kind of shocking, but it was cool. It was,
a revitalization of a career. Things weren't transpiring the way anybody wanted in one situation. Well, now, hey, let's try it on the mound, and success so far. And he's a great dude, like you said. Came up to us and acted like he acts like I'm a long lost family member. And I really appreciate that. And a lot of the guys from the Latin countries, no knock on anybody from the States, but a lot of the guys from the the Latin countries really appreciate the coverage, because otherwise I don't know how much their family really gets to hear about what's going on with them. So it's really fun to see these guys and see excitement for something that we're doing. We don't get paid. No one's paying us. These ads that keep popping up, we want money from them. Damn it. But no one pays us. We go out and we just do this for the love of the game and to bring a little bit of shine to these players and provide the content and the information and memories for their
Yeah.
families, because not all these guys are going to make it to the big leagues. They're not all going to raise a World Series, trophy and get interviewed by Ken Rosenthal. So some of these guys, this is their coverage. This is what they're going to remember, and so
Yeah.
it's great to interact with these guys.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that was some of the surprising things when I got into this, is just how things just evolved like that, and becoming, even with the language barrier, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Just great stuff. Okay, Cody Hosey.
Former first round draft pick.
Yeah, 26 years old.
Explosions.
I wonder if I have to put that there's ads in this thing.
Oh, probably. They're probably gonna demonetize you or something crazy because you had ads in here or something.
That's all right. You can't demonetize nothing, right?
Yeah, I'm not monetized either.
Yeah.
Stupid YouTube.
With Cody, I mean, one of the biggest issue with him has just been injuries.
Yeah.
He just hasn't had a pure year yet. It's amazing. Last year he did better. It looks like he only spent one stint on the IL. But man, just in seasons before, I mean, if you just look at his at bats,
yeah,
I mean, this was his career high at 344. For at bats. That's just not. He's about, I'm gonna say, 500 to 700 at bats short for where he should have been.
Sure. Yeah.
Man, poor guy. A lot of talent there.
He's a sweetheart of a dude too. I've talked to him obviously since I caught up with him at Instructs after he had been drafted for the first time. I'm always trying to get the first round draft pick guy, and
of course
he was just so humble and so down to earth, and just a guy I've been rooting for, and just every time he goes on the IL, it's just like, darn it,
Yeah.
But Cody Hosey, you see the age 26. I mean, I thought at one point this was the heir apparent to Justin Turner at third base in the Dodgers organization.
Yeah,
but
no, redhead to redhead.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just man. But there's still chances for him. Again, probably with another organization eventually. I think that eventually the Dodgers got to make some decisions on that. I'd like to see, if they're going to keep him, push him, put him up in AAA next year. There's no reason to keep him in AA. That's just silly. But I'm not in charge, thank goodness.
You're not?
No, man.
I thought you were the boss of Dodgers 2080.
Yeah, the El Jefe. All right. Okay, everyone's favorite's coming right here, man. Yainer Fernandez. He's eligible. There's the ad. He is truly he is a great, nice dude.
Yes.
He's odd because he's a catcher and he's a second baseman, yet they say outfield on here. I don't know if you could see that. I don't think I've seen him in the outfield, but I saw him a lot at second bases last year with Great Lakes. And he spent the whole year at Great Lakes.
He's in the Arizona Fall League right now as well.
Yeah.
So a player that the Dodgers obviously, have a lot of expectations for. Getting to go to the Arizona Fall League, that's a pretty big honor. Young guy, I think.
Yes.
He'll probably be, not protected and probably still be in the Dodgers organization in 24.
Right. Yeah. And I remember I talked to him at Rancho. We interviewed him, and but just he talked about Austin Barnes a bit, because Austin used to play a lot of second base too.
Yeah.
And was a catcher. I think Yainer could be a better hitter than Austin. I mean, you remember in 2017, Austin Barnes, man, was hitting like 280.
What?
Remember? Yeah,
no, I don't remember.
I do.
I don't remember that.
Because Grandal was going through stuff. He had a turns out he had an issue with one of his children that was being born. And so Barnes got a lot of opportunities that year and hit really well, but not anymore. Not anymore. Now he's just
Hey, it's not easy to hit in the big leagues, and
so
when
hard.
you're a backup catcher, you're not going to get all the reps at live pitching that you're going to want. So it's a tough. I mean, honestly, if you're Austin Barnes, I mean, you're Kershaw's dude. You're kind of busy, all right. You know what I mean? You're with Kershaw. There's pitchers and catchers meetings. You're going over things. So hitting when you're Austin Barnes, I'm sorry to say, is not what his total focus is, and so I think he gets a bad rap. Plus, he's a Riverside dude, so I don't want to hear no bad
That's
stuff.
right, man. IE strong, dude.
Right.
Plus, and the other thing is he's also been mentoring Will Smith, teaching him about game calling and things like that. And, we're seeing the benefits of that. But I also think, my opinion, people say, oh, Justin Turner should come back and be the manager of the Dodgers. No, it's Austin Barnes. That's the guy I want managing the team someday.
I actually want to manage the team myself, but
there you go.
Okay. All right. But no, I think Austin Barnes would be a good choice, and it would make some Dodger fans mad. So I'm always down for that.
Yeah. Oh, Kershaw actually thought he would be a GM someday. That's kind of interesting.
Austin Barnes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. I got him as a manager. Just he's got that look of a manager. I think he'd be, get a little chaw in him, and he's got that.
I don't think it's the look. I think it's the up here. I think that's what he's got, and I think that's why a lot of big league managers are former catchers and are very successful catchers. Have to be prepared for both sides of the game, and they've got a little bit more insight than
than a third baseman or a center fielder.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of catcher, this is a guy that you and I don't think either one of us have really dealt with him much. I've exchanged pleasantries with him. Carson Taylor.
I think I've shaken Carson's hand, and I think that's about it. Yeah. So I don't know him that well on a personal level, like a lot of these guys, but
well, because he never came
catcher.
He never came to Rancho.
Yeah.
And he hasn't gotten up to AAA yet. I don't think he's going to be a guy drafted yet.
I don't believe so, but you never know. Catchers are very valuable, so you never know. But I think he's safe to stay in the organization. But what do I know? I don't even have a job. Nobody even employs me. So everybody out there, take this with a grain of salt. I don't really know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's fun. He hasn't even played 80 games in a season yet. I didn't notice that before. Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of other catchers in the organization, so you're always going to be splitting time. So sometimes the numbers, obviously, you're not getting a full slate of games. A full sampling of the the at bats that you might see on a position player or somebody that you might want to see a bigger sampling size on, but. Yeah, there's a lot of competition in the Dodgers organization at the catching position, as there usually is.
And it's been like that for a while. Because for a while, wasn't it like Will Smith and Keibert Ruiz were, following swapping each other and things like that? I mean, my goodness,
Now Dalton Rushing, although he could play first base too. Diego Cartaya, Tyrone Lorenzo, we saw at Rancho, who's a fantastic catcher. He's a big league catcher, in the making. And, I know he's in the top 30 prospect, but I think he's kind of undervalued as far as what maybe fans are looking at,
Yeah. Well, he has the home runs, but, I've seen him. He could throw guys out and. Yeah, he plays a decent first base. And another catcher, Jesus Galiz.
Yes.
Jeez, they're loaded. It's almost not fair. Yeah, I did a rundown on the catchers, and it's an embarrassment of riches. Some of these, they got to move some of these guys for their own sake. All right, so now we're going to go, I think, a couple sure things that are going to be coming up here. Another guy we got from the The Blue
Blue
Jays.
Jays.
Yeah, Nick Frasso.
Yeah.
I call him the right-handed Alex Wood.
He throws hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's also got there's a lot of arms and legs and
Sure.
movement and everything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, he's 6'5".
Yeah, there's a lot coming at you there with Frasso, but
yeah, Alex DeJesus and Mitchell White.
That's right.
It. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we couldn't think of the exact trade details earlier.
Yeah.
From LMU. Yeah, dude, I mean, 25, it's time. The guy's got talent. You know, if I'm the Pirates, I'm taking this guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
Well, I think he's going to be protected. I think he has to be, I think. I mean, he throws nasty. He's got that, what they call like video game.
Protect them all.
Yeah, I think they protect this guy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Or trade him. The embarrassment of riches the Dodgers have is catchers and right-handed starters. I mean, they're just.
And and you can always turn around and turn that into something else if you'd like.
Well, yeah, and with some of these guys, there's just so many of them. It's like they're probably dying to go. Come on, either promote me or trade me, or trade somebody.
Yeah.
But Frasso's like he's right. He's one of those top 10 type prospects in their system. He had a lot. His numbers are kind of deceiving. That 3.77 ERA. It was like from one or two bad starts. Everything else was pretty sterling with him.
But I mean, AAA, it's like a launching pad everywhere.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, you talk about like, you know, go play in Albuquerque or something. You know what I mean? Like the games are 19 to 18. You know, it's like Colorado. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of like that the whole league. So I kind of throw out the earn run averages a lot of times on AAA guys. You know, just for that reason. So you know. You leave the game, you've thrown too many pitches and you know, there's two runners on and then the next guy comes in and, you know, and there's a double and you know, you probably could have got out of that inning, but you know, they had to take you out and now you've got two more earned runs on your, you know, so I mean, there's situations, I think the earned run averages in AAA or at least in AAA.
No, you're right. You're right about that. Do they still play in Colorado Springs? Can't remember.
I think so.
And then Albuquerque. Yeah, just come on. Those aren't baseball places. It's just not right.
Salt Lake. Playing Salt Lake, playing Reno. Yeah. Tacoma. I mean, there's but Frasso, you got to protect him. He's what is he like he's in the top 5 as the top 5?
He's for the Dodgers. He's got to be in there because they graduated so many guys. Out of that list. So I think he is. We'll take a look at that list after we finish this one. We'll go take a look at that. Here's another guy that's in that top list, and he came so close to making his debut last year. He was, I don't know if you remember it, he was on the practice squad and he was a just in case. He was there when I actually got in, believe it or not, but I never got to see him. And even JP Hoornstra was going, hey, do you know what Landon Knack looks like? I go, yeah. I met him in spring training and all that, but he goes, if you see him, can you point him out to me? JP's one of my, that was the first time I met him. God, what a guy. He's interesting.
Oh, he's fantastic. I love JP.
Yeah, he loves uniforms.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We talked about jerseys and stuff for quite a few minutes. So Landon Knack, they're going to protect him. They have to.
Yeah, I would think so. If not, kiss him bye.
Oh gosh, yeah. He would be the first pick in him or Frasso if either one of them were there. But he's gonna. I think he's gonna contend for a spot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's go time.
And it was nice because the year before he was not healthy, and everything fell apart on him. But boy, last year was good. Even look at that. Even in AAA, what's that? A 2.93. Jeez, man.
And so I mean, so a 2.93, that's probably even a little bit inflated, like we just talked about. So you know, put that at about a 2.5, and Yeah, the
Yeah.
dude he's a dude, and it's time. And
Yeah.
whether it's in Dodger blue or moves are made, he's going to be somewhere.
Yeah, I really like his stuff, man. I like the way he throws out there. I don't know. He's got that. I don't know. Is it like a? I know he's from Tennessee. He's kind of like a good old boy mechanic. I don't know, man. He just kind of has a kind of leans back when he's in the stretch and stuff. He just kind of a cool cat out there. It seems like. I met him briefly, finally, but yeah, like a good dude from what I saw, and gosh, he had a great year.
Yeah,
But
Landon Knack has eluded me. I've never interviewed him. Him and Nick Frasso, a couple guys. Oh, and Carson Taylor. So,
yeah.
man, I'm slouching these last few years. Sorry, guys, but
I didn't interview. I ran into him. Well, it was a spring training game. It was at the Kansas City field. Have you ever worked that field?
which one
I
is that Talking
Sunrise? Is it
Stick? Or
Sunrise?
oh,
No,
I
I think,
don't know. No, I don't
but
think I've been to
they have
Sunrise.
5 camera wells, including
Oh,
one behind home plate.
no, I don't think I've been there then.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it was the best. I caught
Wow.
Outman hitting a home run from behind home plate. It was pretty cool. But I met Landon after he pitched in that game, and then I got a chance I ran into him like, hey, just one of those. I'm, Dodgers 2080. Oh, okay, yeah, thanks for, they give the old thanks for covering, which I appreciate. Um,
That's all we get, and that's all
yeah,
we need.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Did I tell you that Andrew
What?
Friedman knew our site?
I mean, Andrew Friedman stalks everybody
Yeah,
pretty regularly.
he told me.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Say
One time,
what? Oh yeah, I
it
think I
was
sent you
funny.
I sent you the text.
Yeah, it was funny because I think it was 2018 or something. I started a podcast, and I had put it on Twitter, and so, oh yeah, I'm going to do a podcast. And I come up to Andrew Friedman, and I was like, hey, can you do this promo for me? He's like, oh, for your new podcast? And I was like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah. How did like, oh yeah, I follow your stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
that's weird, bro. But Kendall Williams
Yeah.
is another dude right here. He is an all-star
Yes.
for the Arizona Fall League, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he started the season injured.
Yeah.
But then really he rose up. He even got, like a start at AAA at the very end, which is good to see, because I was getting a little worried about him. Like, okay, 2021, he spent the whole year at Rancho. 2022, he spent a few games, and he got to Great Lakes, and middling, some decent numbers, but stepped it up this year. It was good to see. But he was he came with Ryan Noda for Ross Stripling in 2020, and yeah, I think the he's very, I don't know, he's in the zone. I don't know, it's tough I'm trying to explain. He also understands the need to get himself out there and be, he's very internet savvy and things like
Sure.
that. I've talked to him a little bit about that, and it's cool. He really wants to get out there. I saw him once give his cleats to a kid at Rancho. So it was like, oh, that was cool, man. I snapped a picture. I got a picture of it too. So I'm pretty,
Nice.
yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see. But yeah, he really another right-handed starter, of course.
Yeah, and maybe on the young side, maybe you don't
Yeah.
protect him, and I don't think you go after him necessarily. And then sometimes with the Dodgers, if you have an injury, then you get the opportunity to, well, if you're somebody that they think highly of, you're in the Arizona Fall League, or at least in Instructs. Kendall Williams has the honor of being in the Arizona Fall League, and he's developing, he's getting better. He won his first start in the Arizona Fall League, which I was surprised. I think it went 4 innings. It's hard to get a victory as a starting pitcher in minor league baseball nowadays. So
I know they're
so
limiting
I know he
you.
threw good that game.
I remember talking to Chris Campos about that, because he never got a win from the start. he would get him because he was vulturing at the
Yeah,
beginning of the season. He was
yeah.
following. Was he following? I can't
Peyton
remember.
Martin, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so Peyton wasn't getting the wins. Campos was. Then
yeah.
Campos took over the starter. You're like, man, I can't. They won't let me go. They won't let me go 5.
It was funny because Campos, I was talking to him about that, and I was like, dude, you're on a pace for like 35 wins because he was 3-0 after like
Yeah,
the first week and a half of the season from
yeah,
getting vulture wins. So yeah, he was loving that. And then yeah, the opposite was happening when he was starting because he was only going 3 or 4.
yeah. Kind of a. It's. I understand it because he's one of those guys that's converting from shortstop to pitcher, so they're
Sure.
being careful with them, and I understand. And they also do that with the high school guys. Obviously, they go.
Well, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, Peyton Martin just kind of vanished. I don't know what they did with him.
He's on the developmental list.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Means he's in Arizona working in the lab, in the prior lab or whatever.
absolutely.
I'm gonna pull up the top 30 just as a reference because there's a lot of these guys on that list that we just talked about, and I think it's kind of
Frasso,
yeah.
Knack,
Yainer's in there.
Fernandez. Obviously, Braden Fisher at one time was. Kendall
He
Williams
was.
at one time was.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Frasso at 4.
Yeah. So going from the bottom, so 100 Feduccia at
Feduccia.
29,
Yeah,
Yainer 26.
yeah.
Um,
Ramos right there
Ramos,
at
yeah.
19.
Yep. There's Lorenzo at 18. I think that's way low. I think that
Yeah,
I think he's top 5.
yeah. He's. I think he's underrated.
He's
Yeah,
really good.
he's really good.
I think Copp's way too low, but that's these are just
They're going really slow with him. He's another one in the
yeah.
Arizona Fall League. But yeah, it seems like they're just. I know he's only 21, but it seems like he's older. But
I know.
he's
I interviewed him in right before he got promoted to Great Lakes in 2022, and I'm like, wait, you're only 19? He doesn't seem like because he's 6'7".
yeah. I think he's a giant. So
Yeah,
there's that, and then so you automatically think he's been on this earth longer
yeah,
than just 21 years now.
yeah. He's gonna be a good one. Let's see. We had Knack at 9.
Yeah.
And then Frasso at 4. So there's some real prospects that are eligible. And I don't know if I'm the Dodgers, if they're in this top 30 list, I think I'm really gonna protect them unless I'm pretty positive they're not going to be taken.
But yeah, maybe like Yainer. I mean, he's 21.
Yeah,
I don't know if you protect him because I don't know if he's big league ready. I think a big league team would just be giving him back.
Yeah. Well, I think they might have learned from after 2021, they protected Yorbit Vivas and Eddie's Leonard probably a little too early, but they're really good. But then Eddie's is gone, man. They got like a couple bucks for him.
Yeah, in the Tigers organization now, and
he's killing
after
it.
he got traded, it looked like I mean, I kept seeing a bunch of highlights of him, so it looked like he was. I think he kind of had a hiccup in the swing for a while there, and it looked like he had cleaned it up and was finding success. So that's good. I love Eddie's. He's a great dude.
And sometimes it's just you need a change of scenery, get different voices. It's nothing. It's not like, oh, these are bad people or bad at their job. No, it's just sometimes you can't connect with everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes there's something to be said for the repetition and it coming, as far as the information coming from somebody else, and you're like, wow, I've heard this before, but now for some reason it's really sinking in now that this person's telling me because of respect or because of the way they're presenting the information or any number or just a change of scenery, like you said.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of Eddie's. That's for sure. That's a good dude, man. And I hated to see him go, but I was really happy for him too.
I think he's got a clearer shot to the big leagues and probably a quicker shot to the big leagues in the Tigers organization. Tigers have a lot of former Dodger personnel over there in the minor leagues. And
is Lombard still in? Do they still have George Lombard? I think they do. Their
I
former
think
first
so.
base coach. Yeah, I think
I
he's like
think
their
so.
bench coach or something like that. But you know, that's smart. Go steal from teams that
Teams are
develop
successful.
players really well. You
Yeah.
know, but if they do that to Vivas, I riot. He's like almost like a son to me, man.
He's a good dude.
He
I
really is,
like him a
man.
lot. And dude, he hits the ball so hard.
Yeah,
It's
I like watching him a
amazing.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just he's shorter than I am.
You know
But
what? Sometimes, I mean, those short
stud.
guys, there's a small strike zone. There's
Mhm.
not a lot of margin for error. You put it in their zone and they put a good swing on it. He's got a fantastic swing. He hits the
Yeah.
ball, like I said, so hard.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's fun to watch.
Yeah, well, because he put on some good weight.
Yeah, he's some muscle.
Yeah.
So he's
So
been eating steak.
he's been eating a lot of steak and eggs,
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He's doing the Steve Douglas diet, right?
I don't think I can claim that diet. I think that ancient man
Yeah,
developed that diet, but
that's right.
I'm on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm more chicken than steak.
No, no, no. Chicken is a scared bird. You don't want that. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Actually, I'm craving a little off topic. I'm craving crispy pork, you know, from like a Chinese restaurant or something. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay.
I'm just I haven't had a good one in a long time. I'm craving it. But
No, it's cooked in seed oils, bro. You don't want none of that, okay?
that's the thing. Yeah, a lot of
No,
the
no.
yeah, the Asian cookie is very seed oilish. Well, not all
Unfortunately.
of it.
Well, a lot of the
Some of
American
them.
is too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just what about granola oil?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. Did you say
Not
granola oil
granola,
or
canola
canola
oil.
oil?
Edit that one, Rogers. Jeez.
Granola oil?
Yeah, granola. No, that'd be terrible.
I could think of like some hippies
Yeah,
and
with
like
Birkenstocks.
yeah. No, we squeezed our granola until we got oil from it, and we're cooking with it.
Not only you get prospect stuff, you get some diet tips, man. Yeah, Steve eats pretty raw. I'm trying to get more raw myself. I think it is
No, I cook
healthier.
my meat. No, I cook my meat.
Yeah. Yeah, don't try to. Steve is a lot better at not eating the crap that's out there. That's
I just think everything's poisoned a little bit, and
yeah.
so if I can take control of my diet a little bit, like with my eggs, I have my own chickens. I feed them organically.
There you go.
And then I have quail too, because just in case I run out of chicken eggs, because I eat a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
Then my doctor and doctors out there just don't even listen to what I'm saying right now, because my doctor was like, oh yeah, don't do this, don't do that. So I started doing everything my doctor said not to do. And now I feel better than I'm almost 50. Dude, I feel great. So
Yeah.
steak and eggs, hell yeah.
Yep.
Bunch of salt, bunch of butter.
Yeah. You just stay away from the sugar, right? Stay away from the sugar and the additives.
Sugar is the bad stuff, the processed foods, and fast food. Stay away. You do not want somebody making your food for you.
I know.
Well, I've just alienated like 80% of our crowd.
I'm going to say it, unless they're Mexican.
Unless they're taking pride in their, what they're cooking. And yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, there's some really good Mexican restaurants with some not chain restaurants.
Right. Taco shops, man.
Oh yeah. But again, like beans, I don't know. It's not great for digestion. So yeah,
inflammatory.
That's a whole other tangent there.
Yeah, they're a little inflammatory too. But I love them. I gotta temper those. That's for sure.
And we all, moderation and everything, right?
Yep, including moderation.
Yeah.
All right. So we have.
What else we got? We got no more or what?
That's it. We laid it all out.
We laid all the whole list, huh?
There's probably other players, but I mean, the Dodgers have so many different players that are out there that just kind of float around. They just kind of go, well, we got a hole here, so send this guy here. And now, some of these guys will go from AAA to single A, back to double A to low A. just
like
because
Kenneth Betancourt.
yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, he's moving around all over the place.
I
love Kenneth.
do
Great
too.
dude. Yeah.
I wonder what they're gonna do with him. Because they have to cut. They're cutting the. It's not the Dodgers, but baseball has said you can only have 165 rostered people in your organization. So they're gonna have to cut 15 to 20 guys, which is gonna just suck.
Can I just say this, and this might sound bad, but I hate Rob Manfred, and I hate every change he's making.
Yeah, not a fan. Never have been.
No more Ogden Raptors, no more Lancaster Jethawks. Bunch of other teams gone.
Well, and you have playoff games where, so okay, watching the World Series, right? I'm a huge Corey Seager guy, and he hit a big home run, and you couldn't really get the moment because the pitch clock.
Yeah,
we got to get the thing. So we couldn't enjoy that moment of it was the time when he hit that tying home run.
Yeah.
In game 1, he couldn't enjoy it. You couldn't absorb the greatness of that moment because that was an amazing moment. It wasn't quite Kirk Gibson, but it was close.
Yeah.
Because they were down 2. Corey Seager comes, does his thing, and they end up winning in extras. At least the extra innings in the playoffs aren't the stupid ghost runner. Or as Charlie Steiner calls it, the Manfred runner.
Yeah. I hate all the changes.
Yeah, I do too.
But Corey Seager, back to him. What a dude. I know Dodger fans are all hurting, but just didn't happen. But Corey Seager is like legit, like one of the nicest guys I've ever. I never got the chance to interview Corey Seager, but every time I saw him at Dodger Stadium or spring training, Camelback Ranch, he'd come up to me and give me a fist bump and be like, cool. "Oh, hey, Steve," and I'm like, "How the hell does this guy know my name?" And so it was really, it was really cool. I guess I'm getting tired now. I can't even think of any more adjectives. It was cool, man.
Yeah. Well, see, and Seager, good for him. I mean, he got paid. He struck it just perfectly because remember they're heading to that lockout, and he hit that contract right before, and then after the lockout, the contracts weren't as big.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie Freeman's contract was almost half of what Seager got, and they're both kind of on a path for Hall of Fame. Freddie's probably a little closer just because he's older. But Seager's on a good path if he can stay healthy. But the guy's he's a North Carolina guy. I'm sure Texas is a good spot for him, and his lovely wife. We're fans of his wife too. She's cool. Good for Seager. Miss him. I got even his copy of his gold World Series jersey. Yeah, so
nice.
Yeah, big. I was at his debut. I actually got on ESPN during his debut because I was sitting behind his parents during the game.
What?
Yeah, I got lucky.
What?
This is when the Padres were terrible, and so no one went, and so I was able to sit right behind. It's the WAG section.
Okay.
Guys and girlfriends, but you also put parents in there, and Adrian Gonzalez's parents were there too. But I was right behind Seager's parents, and this is when ESPN actually covered baseball a little bit, and so they were showing his debut, and I'm right behind his parents. I'm like, oh, there I am.
ESPN. Oh man,
it was cool. Yeah, I'm getting texts from my friends going, "Hey, take off those reading glasses, man." Because when I watch the game, I got MLB at bat so I can question the umpire.
Oh, good. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because you can't question. I mean, not with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta use an app to question that guy on the field there who's doing it in real time with his own eyes.
Yeah, which is
I look like an umpire right now. I got this blue shirt on.
Hey, I'm sure you've umpired, right?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
So have I. It really is a hard thing to do, especially behind the plate.
Especially at the lower levels when the kids, you know, and the ball's like coming in like on a loop, and you have to
Yeah.
try to, you know, determine, okay, okay, I know it's like in the dirt, but it actually crossed over the plate. So
Yeah.
should I call this a strike? So I liked doing, you know, like Colt League and stuff like that, where they
Yeah.
could, you know, they were humming it. And yeah, I felt like that was easier to call behind the plate than
Yeah.
the little kids.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a tough thing to do. And that was one of
It's
the
hard.
best things.
Yeah.
That was one of the best because I was primarily a coach and manager, but I got convinced to do some umpiring, and it really helped get both sides,
Right.
you know.
Absolutely.
So, all right, man. I think we should wrap up. You got any last words for our audience and about our list there we talked about?
No, just wanted to say thanks for having me on the show, and
Yeah.
sorry I don't do things like this more often. And I love covering the Dodgers. I know it's like this weird hobby that we just kind of do out of the love of baseball, and it's a chance to be close to the game that we both love so much. And
Yeah.
so thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for what you do at Dodgers 2080, and on behalf of the families, thanks, Tim. We really appreciate all the coverage.
Well, I definitely appreciate you. I would not be doing this without you. You taught me a lot when I first started. I just started in 2018, man. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. Still kind of don't know, but I'm getting better at not knowing.
We learn.
Uh, yeah, it would fans, the Dodgers, as I like to say, they're just loaded with really talented players, really good people. Some of these guys are not going to be with the organization next year. The hope is that they do. If they're not with the organization, they get a better opportunity and can further their careers and start making some real money. That's at the end of the day, I want these guys to get paid. They've worked hard at it, and not everyone's going to get there, but hopefully, I think, well, a lot of guys from the Dodger organization get through. We've seen so many guys come through Rancho. I think the ratio of Rancho versus other organizations at that level, it's really high of guys that have actually made the major leagues. So I want to thank Steve for joining me and keeping it live and keeping me just I hate doing it by myself. It just
No, yeah, it's
doesn't
much
work
more
very
fun.
well. Yeah, it's good to have interaction. And Steve and I, like I said, known each other for probably 6 years now, something like that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
and we'll be providing other types of things as we go. I'm going to be getting back into, I think I'm going to look at doing shortstops real soon. And then just, it's going to get crazy over the next month and a half with free agents and trades. We'll cover it definitely from a prospect perspective. Our goal is really to embolden the prospects and not tear them down. That's not our job.
Yeah.
It's to build them up and give you exposure for who they are. And like we've said, they're great guys, and we appreciate them and their cooperation with us. And these guys, when you see Michael Grove at the major league locker room and he comes up and shakes my hand, it says a lot about the man.
Yeah.
And so and he's not the only one there, but that's just an example. We covered him in 2019 and watching him there. Same with Miguel Vargas, and then Papio and all those Outmen, all those guys. They've been really good, high character guys. How you treat the lowest of the low, and that's us, says a lot about these guys as human beings. So
very true.
We're looking forward to just the craziness of the off season, whether that's the adding people to the roster, the Rule 5 draft, free agents, the trades, all the craziness, and just watching the Padres go broke. That's just fun too.
Oh, I don't know how he still has a job, that Preller guy, but whatever.
I don't know. I would have held on to Bob Melvin over AJ Preller any day. He's a really good manager. The Giants are gonna be significantly better next year because of him.
I think
dang.
so too.
Yeah, dang it. But yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and we shall talk to you later. Thank you for, following, keep subscribe, pass the word upon us. And, that's it for now. Thank you.